It's now my pleasure to introduce our Executive Vice President and General Manager, Mr. Kevin Scheifele, who will make our first pick on behalf of the Winnipeg Jets.
First of all, I'd like to say hello to all our great fans in Winnipeg at the MTS Centre, St. John's, Newfoundland, our affiliate in the American Hockey League, and the great fans that have made it all the way here to Minneapolis. The Winnipeg Jets are proud to select from the Barrie Colts of the Ontario Hockey League, Mark Scheifele.
Wow. That's our first real jump up, Bob. Mark Scheifele, you had rated 12th in your ranking, and Scheifele jumps into the top 10, going 7th to the Winnipeg Jets.
It's not a ridiculous reach at all, although I will tell you this. A year ago, nobody associated with scouting in the National Hockey League had any idea who Mark Scheifele was. A year ago, right now, he was a 7th-round pick of the Saginaw Spirit of the Ontario Hockey League, somewhat undersized, and a guy who wasn't really fully ready to commit to the OHL because they weren't fully ready to commit to him, and he thought, maybe I'll go to Cornell University instead. He became a throw-in in a trade that the Barrie Colts made with the Saginaw Spirit. Dale Howardchuk, the head coach of the Barrie Colts, was well aware of Scheifele, having played Junior B in Kitchener last season. He went to a tournament called the Cottage Cup, where Scheifele was going to play for the Huntsville Otters of the Junior League in Ontario, Junior A League in Ontario, and convinced him to come to Barrie and give it a try. And the rest, as they say, is history. He's had a phenomenal year, put significant offensive numbers up on an OHL team that was in a rebuilding phase and really didn't have a lot to play with over the course of the season. This guy was a rock star all season long, moving up the ranks. He's obviously got to fill out. Dale Howardchuk believes he's got to work on his skating, the same as Dale Howardchuk did when he was coming out of junior. But Dale Howardchuk believes this guy has a chance to be a real great player in the National Hockey League.
Well, they obviously had some significant holes to fill on the offensive side of things. That's why they went for Mark Scheifele and not Sean Couturier, who I think now can officially be deemed a slider. Going into this season, a lot of people thought Sean Couturier had a chance to rival for first or second overall. Now he has not been picked, and we're going into the 8th pick of the first round. So good for Mark Scheifele, and congratulations, Winnipeg Jets.
Well, Bob talked about his rise through the rankings, and this is Central Scouting. In November, they had him ranked 19th in the Ontario Hockey League. Never mind all the other Canadian junior leagues, college, and Europe. By the midterm ranking, number 21, he'd fallen back up to 21 in North America when they combined the rankings. The final ranking, he was number 16 in North America. And Bob, you had him 12th in the overall draft ranking. So that's a big jump up, and now he's jumped in with James Duthie.
All right, we'll turn this into a Winnipeg Jets sweater shortly. There were some logistical reasons why they couldn't have the Jets, even though the name is officially the Jets now. Mark Scheifele, Bob was talking about your meteoric rise this year, where you're a 7th rounder in the draft just to get to the OHL. Did you ever envision, even in the moments before you were picked, that you would go in the top 10 and go to Winnipeg?
Well, you know, it was always a dream of mine to get drafted in the first round as a young kid, but going back to last year, like I've gone so far from last year, and I worked so hard, and I wanted to be here right now, and I'm happy that I'm able to get picked here.
We're watching you come up the stairs. I think you said I can barely walk.
Yeah.
Do you realize? I'm sure you realize the significance of this for Winnipeg with the team. How does it feel to be coming into something new and starting in a place that you know loves hockey that much?
It's definitely really exciting. Like, I've heard stories from Dale, and Dale's talked to me a lot about that, and you know, I'm really excited to go to Winnipeg. It's going to be a great place. I've heard great stories, and I know it's a great hockey town. And
Can you see your mom right now on the screen?
I can. And I'm just so excited, and I'm going to work even harder just to be able to make that team.
Kevin, obviously this is an important pick for the franchise, and it's significant. It represents something. Why Mark?
Well, we've done our due diligence on him. We found a lot of really good things to like. Obviously, the scouts were very, very emphatic about his play and how far he has come. And they believe that if the progression stays on the same track, that we could have a real gem here. And that so it's exciting. And one of the all-time great Jets is his coach in Barrie, and we spent a lot of time talking with him, Dale Howardchuk, and he had nothing but unbelievable things to say. So it's an exciting time for our franchise.
It's a double bonus for Winnipeg because it's not an expansion franchise. You have a lot in the cupboard already. There's a lot of folks back in the MTS Centre listening to this right now. What's your message to them as far as how far you are away from being a playoff team again?
Well, with this pick here, we were true to our word. We drafted a player with tremendous character, tremendous work ethic, someone that's going to make the fans very, very proud when they get a chance to watch him play. And, again, we've got a good young group of players here. We're all going to grow them together, and we'll surround them with some good people, and we'll look for some good things.
Congratulations to both of you.